So Celtic fans are going to make a stance on the 12th minute at Rugby Park on Sunday. They're not going to walk in and support the team until the 12th minute because they're fed up and sick of tired of the sport. The lack of engagement, the lack of investment, the lack of clarity, the lack of ambition from the sport. And after a productive meeting last night between Celtic podcasts, Celtic organisations, over 600 CSCs, they've come to a decision where, you know what, we're going to have to start making actions. Actions speak louder than words. So the board will listen. And see Dermot Desmond, see Michael Nicholson, see Peter Lawwell, see Chris McCoy, and see the rest of them that are on a high pay grade, that are fleecing us. They're going to have to eventually listen. This is not going to change overnight. Obviously, with the transfer window being closed now, we want to see reinvestment. We want to see plans for the future. We want to see what's the situation in regards to our manager. Is he going to be going in May? Can he put that out in the open in January and say we're looking at a recruitment process to replace Brendan Rodgers for his second tender at Celtic? It's just a lack of communication from the board, which the fans are getting pissed off. At the end of the day, a lot of these fans, a lot of these supporters must go miles upon miles to see this team home and away. And I feel like they're not getting the money's worth because the investment into the squad hasn't been at the level most seasons. And people can say, oh, they're covering up the cracks. They backed Ange, they backed Brendan last season, all this crap. The most important thing is, look at the situation we're in right now. We have not replaced Nicholas Keown. We have not replaced Kyogo. We have not replaced Matt O'Reilly. Days and Maeda wanted to leave in the last window and the move was blocked because he didn't have players coming to replace Maeda. It just shows the absolute state of the club, considering there's so much money in the bank for a rainy day. But yeah, they're after bringing out another set of merchandise today. Europa League tickets. It's up to the fans to take up the Europa League package. I certainly wouldn't be taking up if I had the money if it was to go to the game. I would not be taking up because you're feeding into their agenda. You're giving them more money. Giving them more money for what? For what? I'm all in for backing the team. I'm all in for backing the manager. But for God's sake, put a bit of investment into the team. The most important thing that all the Celtic fans want: success. And the board should want success. They should be serious about moving the club to a new level. But they're not. They're not. They're afraid to bury Rangers once and for all. They're afraid to take them out of business and scrape the so-called Old Firm trademark. The Old Firm's dead since 2012. 2012 has been dead. And I'm not buying this shite from fans where they say, oh, well, look at the state of Scottish football. Well, my argument's sake to it is, look at the state of Scottish football. How about when Celtic do well in Europe, they're doing well for Scottish coefficient? It means that Scottish teams can have a better chance of getting into Europa Conference League, to a further round, to the Europa League, pushing for automatic qualification for the Champions League a couple of years. But no, the board don't want to think like that. They just want to think about money, money, money. So yeah, I completely go with this. I think it's the right decision. As I said, I don't go to much games, but I have a voice. I have a platform. I don't have 19,000 subs for no reason on YouTube because I speak my heart and soul about this beautiful club. And I just feel like the people on the top are getting away with murder over the last 10 years. Simple as, regardless trebles or trebles, we did not qualify for the Champions League 7 out of 10 seasons. That just shows the lack of vision for the club, how serious they take the Champions League at times.